Breathing underwater. Can't let you go now. Making it so hard. You got to know now. Ooh, taking it too far. Nothing to hold now. I'm falling apart. Out in the cold now. Breathing underwater. Breathing underwater now. I can't let go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Frontier Doubles League. It is week 8 or 9 upon us. I'm not too sure. I think Tunlink has a better idea of what week we are in. Tunlink, how do you feel about this match coming up?
I am feeling good. I think it could be a turnaround for the Vipers team. We have the Vipers and Monkeys Expert League today. Monkeys, they have a pretty dominant season right now compared to the Vipers, who are sitting at 1-5.
It has been pretty. It's been a rough couple of weeks for the Monkeys. They started off the season hot, and those few losses has definitely impacted them. They are very low on starter lineups, but this Viper team is looking hot and ready, just like some pizza. Not sponsored. Anyways, I think the boys are ready to get into this. Tunlink, what are your predictions here?
Well, just going by the series record, I mean, Monkeys have a pretty strong hand in this match, but Vipers, they could turn it around. They haven't gotten a win since week 1, but we'll see what happens. Merc for Hire wins the kickoff. He's going to take the mid boost, give respect to the Monkeys. Steven goes for it, pinches against him. Merc taking the boost. Mr. Hayes is alone in net. Jaquittle. Steven goes right under for the first goal. Monkeys already starting off strong.
Well, he loves that high-flying practice. Steven just to pick it up off the back wall. It's a beautiful play by the Monkeys, and a little bit of legacy here. The last time that these two played off, it was A lineup against B lineup, and it went all the way to 5. Monkeys having to use their A lineup, so we'll have to see how this all turns out. Steven's turning up the heat for the Monkeys.
Steven, what a great shot. It went off post too, and it still went in. Merc just wasn't able to read what was happening.
And that's just a great dunk to set up Steven in the midfield. Jack plays that ball through, gets it into the awkward spot where the defense can't get to it. Steven's just diving in at Mach 3, turns into a goal. The Monkeys, if they can keep up the pressure, would be in a very good spot, because instances like that where you get overcommitted, you get too anxious because you're getting goals, can lead to opportunities such as that. Merc for Hire shoots but doesn't score.
You see Jaquittle and Merc 50-50, goes off the wall right to Steven, bangs it against the corner wall of the Vipers. Jaquittle backflips. Steven is trying to keep pressure up. Mr. Hayes, though, puts it over the Monkeys. They could have an opportunity here, but bounce goes weird. And oh my, almost an uncle from the Monkeys. It works though. Vipers don't really know what was happening there. Vipers are keeping a lot of good pressure right now on the Monkeys in this last 30 seconds. If they can keep it up, I mean, the Monkeys seem to have a little trouble with it. What do you think?
The offense definitely seems to be benefiting or favoring the Monkeys more than the defensive side. They just want to keep going for the ball and pushing it down, because, you know, no one likes to play defense, but the Monkeys certainly don't have a history of playing defense in the Expert League. It is possibly their worst stat, I think, on record. The goal differential, it's always most goals against them, but they always put up the most goals in a season. So if they can kind of fix it, because the offense from the Vipers is good, but it's not good enough to break down the defense. We'll see if this 2v1 play can manage.
Mr. Hayes doing his best to keep pressure, stall for his teammate to get back. Merc taking it a little slow, trying to read Steven. It works out. Jaquittle's a little odd. Mr. Hayes goes up. He gets the shot, but Jaquittle with the save, and already Jaquittle with 3 saves. Mr. Hayes is going to take it around Steven. Takes it around both monkeys. Fortunately, it wasn't a great opportunity for his teammate. Vipers are constantly pressuring this monkey's defense. Let's see if Jaquittle can clear this out, keep pressure onto the Vipers this time. Steven gonna launch against the backboard. Jaquittle's gonna go for it, and he gets it. Center of the net. Vipers not quite sure where the defense went. Mr. Hayes just seemed to misread where Jaquittle was and where the ball was. Fortunate for them, but monkeys are up 3-0. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the game.
The monkeys are absolutely utilizing the back wall to their advantage. There is no Vipers player looking to defend it, and it's resulted in 2 of the 3 goals that the monkeys have had. And right there, it's an open field again.
Another one.
The Vipers had so much offense and they just didn't come up with it. You have to punish the monkeys on any little thing, because monkeys make opportunities like that happen. They're shooting 4 for 4 right now, which is incredible odds, but that time it was just capitalizing off the Vipers' mistakes. So going forward, there's still 2 minutes left, but going forward, Vipers, they really need to start hammering that offensive pressure and putting more threatening shots on.
I completely agree. Vipers, like this, it could be an opportunity if he can get there. No, the Jaquittle, though. It's that exact thing right there that it seems like the Vipers, they put on all these shots and have all this pressure on the monkeys, but they aren't working as a unit. And well, unfortunately, whatever happened there at midfield ended up with another goal for the monkeys. 5-0 already. I don't really know what happened there, a miscommunication, but hopefully at least the Vipers can get something just to boost them into the next game.
A breakaway goal for Jack, but Hayes bumps Steven into it, and Jack just bumps Steven into it. That's another one on target. The perfect shooting is over. That's okay, monkeys. Can't be a perfect game, but they have looked very good on offense thus far. This is the best chance that the Vipers have had. Jack in a 2v1 situation. He's not reading that off the back wall. That one's back post and in. Vipers, finally something to show for with their offense.
That is exactly what the Vipers were looking for this whole time. They have 6 shots in total, and while that's great, they don't seem to be working as a unit to really capitalize on some of those monkeys' mistakes. The monkeys have made those mistakes, but Vipers just can't seem to capitalize, and almost gets another one for the monkeys off kickoff. Merc is going to go for that. Mr. Hayes backflip saves it. Monkeys still putting on more and more pressure. Steven going to go for something a little fancy there. Merc is going to try and take this out. Doesn't have a lot of boost. Mr. Hayes seemed to be going to midfield, try and make something happen though. Gets back in time. Unfortunately though, not the best touch on the defensive end, and the monkeys will capitalize. That's exactly what the Vipers need to do on the monkeys' half. They just can't seem to do it, and it's working out perfectly for the monkeys.
And the monkeys really aren't doing anything special except for one key thing, and that is they always have that second man waiting in the midfield. Anything that pops into there, that second man has. Steven, 5 goals right now for the total of 6 that the monkeys have. He is being that janitor that we see on some teams where he just cleans up the mistakes that happen from the Vipers. Hayes will get one back. Can they score 4 in 26? It's unlikely, but it's not out of it.
Probably not, but any goal at this point is going to be good momentum going into the next one.
Absolutely, and I think game 1s are always a fluke. You look at any series, if you lose game 1, normally the losing team comes back and wins 3 straight. It's a very common thing that happens, just the warm-up. And if the monkeys can figure out their defensive rotations, I think they could definitely pull out a sweep in here. But I think the Vipers really have to show more on offense, because just touching things like that to the back wall is what they need. Like, just that backboard from both teams did not look the greatest. And I think that's where the Vipers need to start hammering away on.
I think the Vipers are starting to get it. It seemed like they had a lot more of those opportunities that they could make at the end there. It was starting to work. It was starting to work, but the Monkeys though, just consistent throughout the entire game, and they take it what seems very just easily.
And it's just that offense that happens on the on the Vipers side. Steven's just waiting in middle for something to go his way. It just falls to him, and it's an open net. It's always a 2v1, and we're gonna have to see. Merc for Hire is on 256 ping with that hotel Wi-Fi. Could have a big implication on the match, but I mean, the Vipers have the capability. They know what worked in that game. They just have to implement it now.
Yeah, hopefully the Vipers can come back. Yeah, apparently though, Merc for Hire is on hotel Wi-Fi. Not sure. I mean, dedication, still coming into the match, giving it his all.
This is a
We'll
cursed
see
lobby because the scoreboard's also flashing for me too. We love our Rocket League bugs, and it's just part of the game. You can't have a normal game of Rocket League without the bugs. And I am also in the new voice chat for spectator mode, so let's just disable that. And going forward, Merc for Hire obviously on that internet is not benefiting him at all, but it was relatively close with the stats other than that one thing. So maybe, Mr. Hayes is gonna have to step up huge for the Vipers. Steven on the double touch. Monkeys are not stopping.
Steven out the gate, 11 seconds into the game with an outstanding double touch. What an angle. Monkeys off to the best start they could possibly ask for. We'll see if the Vipers can start their trek up, but apparently Jaquittle goes for the double touch too, doesn't get that one. The Vipers are saved in this instance. Merc for Hire is going to take it over to the corner. Jaquittle is going to put it mid. Steven's lurking there, decides not to go for it. Mr. Hayes is having a little bit of an issue. Merc is more sitting towards net, being a little passive. Mr. Hayes is going to put one on. A good shot, Merc. Ball goes over him. Jaquittle gets demoed. Unfortunately for the Vipers, though, it is already rolling in. Bottom right corner. Monkeys 2-0.
And, the Monkeys are just kind of showing. Their confidence is great right now. Jack also going for a double touch right after Steven hits one. You can tell that they are feeling it this game. And unfortunately for Merc, it is very obvious that ping is getting to him. But he's not doing terrible. I mean, he's playing that second man, letting Hayes take the charge, letting him 2v1. It's kind of what you have to do. And maybe something just goes horribly wrong for the Monkeys defense, like a double commit there. But we're going to have to see. Monkeys do look to be unstoppable right now.
Mr. Hayes gets demoed. The entire offense right now from the Vipers just not able to be there. Merc, though, tries to do something over in the corner. Unfortunately, it doesn't go anywhere. Mr. Hayes avoids the demo this time. Steven is the only monkey back. Mr. Hayes is going to be in a 1v1 with him. Merc, though, coming around, getting ready. He's going to take it. It pops up. Jaquittle intercepts it. Shoots it on the net. Mr. Hayes with a great save and a demo coming out from the Monkeys again, but a bump. I believe it was a team bump. Monkeys are not going to be able to keep the pressure up. Mr. Hayes is going to shoot it over to the Monkeys corner. Mr. Hayes has another opportunity, gets a touch. Goes in the Monkeys' favor though. Mr. Hayes has boost now, just picked it up in his corner. Steven doesn't get the shot on, tried to get something. Mr. Hayes is going to keep it on the wall. Steven is going for another demo. Monkeys are just really trying to dig this in to make sure that if Merc can't play as good as he can, then they're just going to take out the offense that they have. And that's what's happening right now. Jaquittle with another goal. 3-0, 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game. Mr. Hayes, though, with an outstanding save, but just can't come back around and get the second one.
And on connection like that, there's only so much you can do if you are Merc for hire.
Yeah.
But, you know, it just happens, I guess. Nothing to take away from either of these boys. The Vipers are still, you know, they're not having a terrible season so far. It's going to be a lot rougher after this one because that might eliminate them from playoff contention. But it's still the boys, you know, Merc for hire. I think he joined in season 3. He's been here a while. Mr. Hayes, I think he was here last season. You know, both they were here from season 3, so they're here. They're staples in the FDL community at this point, and they put everything into a game. Merc for hire could just say, hey, I'm not playing, it's not a good connection day, but he's playing here anyways. It's dedication that it's respectable. And, you know, they could still come away with, you know, some magic. We'll have to see. But the Monkeys, there's not really a set twos rotation. But I think that the Monkeys are doing just a great job on keeping up the pressure.
Hey.
It's so funny because Jack stops like he was going to go way past the ball here.
Normally, Merc would have been able to swoop in and take that ball, but unfortunately, there's just a little too much confusion from about every player in that instance. Monkeys are going to come away with another one, and another one, as I say that. 5-0. Monkeys, yeah, I think they got this one in the bag. It's unfortunate for the Vipers, like we said, but at the very least, the Vipers didn't come out. They didn't forfeit. They came out. That's all that matters. And they have a chance. They showed that they could score.
Yeah, it's the sportsmanship that is appreciated here.
Exactly.
And, you know, the stats, good luck getting your end of season rewards, everyone, because the Monkey stats might be inflated beyond belief here. Steven has almost 10 goals in this series, and we're only in game 2, so there's a lot to take away from here. But going into the playoffs, I believe this does eliminate Vipers and Huskies in the Expert League, given how the Colts record is too. So we might be locked in unless the Coyotes have an incredible end of season run. Expert League Stealth Conference has had 3 top teams the entire time, and it's Hornets, Monkeys, and Colts, and that one's just gonna be given for Jack. But the playoff race is coming to a close here for the Stealth Conference.
Yeah, and that's just what Jack needed. Another goal. Unfortunately, it was an own goal from the Vipers. Not sure if it was intentional or not. I wouldn't doubt it. But the stat line from this game was a lot different than last game in that Mr. Hayes actually put up quite a few points. He had 3 saves and 2 shots, coming out to 424 right now. And for being essentially solo right now, I'd say that's pretty good. Merc is trying. His ping is all over the place, so there's not much he can do. And Jaquitl has 4 goals, 7 shots. Now Steven has 3 goals, 7-0. Maybe they're setting up for the Brazil.
Okay, is it disrespectful to now just own goal for the Brazil?
I mean, I think it's more in the spirit of the game, you know? If you're up 7-0, you kind of have to let it go in.
I wish it was Merc too that just puts it in for the Brazil. It
Don't
would just
think
be
the
like,
Monkeys want it.
nah, they don't want it. They're just gonna take the clean sheet in this one. Moving on to match point and ever so closer to that Hornets record because they're gonna want some rematch on that. You know, the stat line that I brought up earlier. Monkeys have 92 goals for them this season and 87 against them. So, yeah, that offense definitely holding up for their defense, but it's not by much. Huskies have 96 against them. So, Monkeys at least are the first losers in that department, but they're looking really good here. I wish they would bring out this confidence to every match because this is the Monkeys team for a C lineup. This is looking pretty good despite circumstances.
Yeah, Monkeys, I mean, Under the philosophy of as long as you shoot it on net enough times, it'll eventually go in. Defense be damned. And that's working. I mean, granted, this match, it's a little different from others, but with the Monkeys' record right now, they have a good chance at making a run in playoffs this season.
Oh, don't give me hope, Tunlink.
That's
The expert
what you
teams have
gotta do.
always been good on the Monkeys, but it's always just the one factor at the first round of the playoffs. So let's hope. But you know what? This is words of hope from Tunloink. Let's see if he can actually give the Monkeys what they need this season, and potentially in the rest of this one. And yeah, that's about what we
Monkeys
expected.
keep up like this. I mean, again, same as last match actually. 11 seconds in, another goal. One to start off with. It's a pretty good goal. It's a pretty good goal. Jaquittle hits it to the top part of the net. Vipers unable to get it. Maybe we'll see. The Vipers couldn't score last game. They scored twice in the first game. Almost gets that one off kickoff. Merc is coming in. Merc is getting a lot more touches this game so far. Mr. Hayes gonna put that above the Monkeys' net. Jaquittle's gonna try and go up for it. Gets the read. Steven is gonna play this a little patient. Gets it over Merc. Mr. Hayes tries to just waltz into it. Goes in favor of the Monkeys. Vipers gonna hit it against the wall. Mr. Hayes is gonna go for it, but Jaquittle gets it over him. Merc is gonna rush it. Stevens gonna hit it back to the corner. Playing ping pong right now. Mr. Hayes is gonna try and take it slow. Goes in favor. The 50 goes in favor of the Vipers. The Vipers are just trying to get it out of their net right now for their half of the field. Monkeys, their plan is to just shoot it on net as many times as they can until they win. And that's exactly what they just did again. Steven, great aerial goal right there.
And the reads that these aren't easy reads that the Monkeys are making. That is a very awkward bounce from the middle. Not many people will read that, but Steven has hit those, I want to say 6 times out of 10, maybe 8. We'll see after, the stats after the game. But he has done a very good job with his shooting percentage. They're just kind of every opportunity that's given to them, they're capitalizing on what you should see. Oh, Demo opens up the field. Yeah, and let me get your thoughts on this right now. We obviously know the situation from Merc for Hire. Oh, let's go Merc!
Merc, despite the hundreds and hundreds of ping, manages to get his first goal of the series despite the circumstances.
Is this the comeback?
Vipers are not out of it. They showed they could score in the first game, and I think they want this.
And to reiterate my point, but okay, nice shot, Jack. Would you rather see Merc playing a second man role, just letting Hayes do his thing, or would you rather see him in the offense making some plays potentially, and Hayes doing the cleanup from just the shenanigans that Merc could pull on the Monkeys? I feel like the threat on offense might be a little bit better, and then Hayes can clean up.
I would agree. I think right now with the series score and the way it's going and how dominant the Monkeys are on offense, it's a bit hard, combined with Merc's ping issues, it's a bit hard for Merc not to sit back, especially when there's all this pressure. But so far, the more aggressive he is, the better it's working out for the Vipers. So I think that could be the key that they need to take away.
Yeah, we'll have to see. That one's off the back wall. Merc up for it. Jack just beating him to it. But can we start labeling these the monkey wrenches when they're just all diving in on the goal line? Because this has happened a few times now.
Yeah, Mr. Hayes, he tries to get it, but one of the Monkeys' teammates was just kind of sitting there, and it completely stopped Mr. Hayes' momentum. Everyone gets in there. Second time that's happened this series in the nearly exact same way. Monkeys gonna take it up the wall. They don't. This could be an opportunity for the Vipers if Merc can force his ping to go with him down the field. Tries the 50. Jaquittle though. It's a very dominant touch, and oh, he does get the goal because it bounces off Mr. Hayes. So unfortunate for the Vipers.
The dot 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 in Jack speaks very, very loud as he gets that one basically for free. It's going to help his shooting percentage a little bit. He's shooting 3 for 6. But yeah, the Monkeys, they have this pretty much secured and will take a sweep, help that game differential out, and move on to their next matches. I mean, the Vipers, they don't look bad. I mean, given all the circumstances, we got Merc on 2 goals. It's the comeback, actually. I believe it.
This is the thing. It's so unfortunate that this circumstance happened because the Vipers, they do seem to be good. Like they're playing still pretty well, at least in the first and last game. It's just when Merc gets on that offense, it seems to go very well for them. But unfortunately, he just can't be on offense very often because, well, he can't even see the ball half the time.
Scoreboard update. Merc is only on 80 ping now.
Oh, Vipers almost get a third.
They could come back.
It could happen. It seems like the ping is stabilizing more or less for the moment. The
Monkeys
Vipers,
are missing.
this is an opportunity.
Oh my gosh.
It almost gets over. Merc is going heavy on the offense, going for demos. Mr. Hayes is trying to bring it in. Monkeys are gonna try and secure this game. Vipers, unfortunately for them, the Monkeys put up another goal on the missed touch on defense. Merc tried to get a flick, but unfortunately it just kind of popped it up and handed it to Jaquittle right there. Vipers, I think it's so unfortunate because I really do believe that they could have made this series far, far closer had Merc been able to play the game.
Agreed. I mean, this is easily his best showing, you know. Give him normal ping. He's scoring 2 for 3. He's getting more and more saves. I mean, there's no doubt that this could have went to 5, could have just been a Vipers domination had it not been for the Monkeys at offense. But hold on, Mr. Hayes, they're not going down without a fight.
What a shot. Top left of the net and bar down right through both Monkeys defenders. Vipers really showing that they are not out of this just yet. Monkeys are still gonna have to work for it despite all. Oh, and that's another goal for the Vipers. 4-5, 25 seconds left. Vipers, oh my, they could come back. It's 1 goal.
As much as I really want to see the comeback, I really don't, because I you know, Monkeys, you know, I think there's some contract binding me to root for the Monkeys here, but this is actually doable for the Vipers now. Monkeys might have gotten a little bit too comfortable in this series. Now at 15 seconds left, Jack trying to bide as much time as they can, and is probably gonna do it for the Monkeys.
Unfortunate, so sad, but nothing the Vipers could do right here. Both teammates missed the ball at one point or the other. It gets around them and unable to get the one more they need to tie it. They could technically get it within this 8 seconds, but probably not going to happen. Merc 4 higher though, despite the issues. 3 goals in 1 game. Pretty darn good.
Yeah, come back with a hat trick after very bad circumstances. So, Monkeys win it in a sweep. I want to say surprise, but, you know, yeah, I mean, we didn't see that coming, but the Monkeys displayed great offense from the start of that game to the end of it. They were just able to capitalize, put every opportunity away. They just displayed some solid Rocket League and were able to make it work in the end.
Yeah, nothing to take away from the Monkeys there. Monkeys still an incredibly dominant team this season. Now going up 5-2 for their record. Unfortunately for the Vipers, 1-6 on the season. Most likely eliminates them from playoffs. Monkeys, though, on the other hand, I think they have a good chance ahead of them for the rest of the season.
Agreed. I mean, It's been a great season for a lot of these expert teams. I think it's been a lot closer than it really has shown for these teams as well. We know all these players are really good in Vipers and in the Huskies as well. They're tied for that record, but all these players have the capability. Things like that just kind of happen, and we've got Jack here. I really don't want to pull him in though. Tunlin, can you do it?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Welcome, monkeys.
Hello. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good.
Congratulations. How are you guys feeling?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. That was a solid series, as you guys saw.
Yeah, I mean, obviously very unfortunate what happened to the Vipers, but nonetheless, you guys played very, very well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, with you guys being so dominant this season, now your record is 5-2. Very good chance to make playoffs. How far you guys think you're going to go?
I think we definitely think we can get to the championship. I think we really pride ourselves on having a very solid lineup, and with the way that the playoffs are going to be played, I think our lineup suits that like one of the best out of all the teams.
Yeah, for sure. You guys seem to have a lot of chemistry just with this pairing. I mean, it was really fun to watch, especially in the last few games where you guys really showed how confident you could be.
Thank you.
Chris, how you feeling about your Monkeys team?
Just win one round of playoffs for Expert League. Jack,
I promise you, Chris.
Just and stay around for the rest of the season.
hey, I've made it this far, haven't I?
That's true. It's farther than it was last time.
Yeah.
Oh man. Playoff bound though. I mean, we have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The records are now you've eliminated Vipers from another spot, so they have one chance to make it. That's if Colts win. Now you lost to Colts and Hornets. Which team would you rather play again?
I never got to play the Hornets, so I'm not entirely sure. But if I had to go based off of what I've seen, I probably would want to play the Hornets more.
I agree.
It's my play style.
I think after that game, because me and Frank played the game against the Hornets, I think that would be a game that I would very much like to play again.
All right.
Yeah, I think it'll be definitely interesting to see how you guys fare the rest of the season. 3 matches left on your season. If you make a run, you could definitely secure a top seed going into playoffs. Make it a lot easier to get Chris's first win.
Oh.
I wish.
Well, Chris, you got any questions left?
Nope, just good game, boys. Way to play solid, and looking forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, GG's, guys. Congrats.
GG's Vipers.
This will do it for the first match of the day, FDL stream. Stick around, though. We have a Star League match coming up. You will not want to miss it. It's going to be a good one. Stick around.
Go on, Marcel. I'm cold steel stainless. My glass half full. Always said don't suffer no fools. Serpents, daydream. I bite, you call me lovely. Got a sweet tooth. Gonna get the sugar from you. When they say I'm a machine gun, I take it as a compliment. Honey, you should know I can be a weapon. I can be a weapon. Come cold blood, selfish. Your words are painless. I like when I drive and feel so dangerous. They say I'm a red flag 'cause they want it so bad. You should know I'm holding on to what I have. When they say I'm a machine gun, I take it as a compliment. Honey, you should know I can be a weapon. I can be a weapon. Into the night, the city lights are dancing, slowly falling apart. The shadows causing an outbreak. I'm wishing upon a star. This time I'm feeling stronger, and I know I can do better. The shadows causing an outbreak. I'm turning the light. We're gonna light it up, oh, light it up, ooh, light it up, causing an outbreak.
Welcome back to Frontier Doubles League, everybody. I am your host, Tunloink, with my beautiful co-star, Chris with a K, aka the Monkey Boy himself. We have a perfect, just absolutely stellar match tonight. The Star League Unicorns versus Eagles. Both teams are struggling a little bit. Eagles a lot more than the Unicorns. Chris, what do you think about tonight's match?
I think it's going to be an uphill battle for the Eagles. The new pickup in Nick has been great for the Unicorns. They have been on the up, and in their division, they definitely need it, because if you look at the standings right now, 3 of the 4 teams that are in the top 4 are all in the Unicorns divisions. The Unicorns need to step it up right now if they want to make playoffs.
Yeah, Eagles could play a pretty huge spoiler here if they get their first series win, but we will see. We'll have everyone join up and get right into it. The Eagles coming in with a 0-6 record, and like you said, though, the Unicorns, they really need to step it up with their 3-3 record.
And you know, Tunlink, as a resident Griffin yourself, watching the Unicorns lose here is probably the best thing that could happen for you. What is your predictions going on for this match?
I think that the Eagles do have a chance. I think that Alpha Doggy and Q are a good pairing. Alpha Doggy especially, I think, is their star player in this situation, but the Unicorns make me nervous with their new pickup right now.
Absolutely. Nick has been a stellar pickup, and he is on the attack. Yet he moves in, forces it by 1. He's got Q in a 1v1. Pop high. Nicholas up to this one first. 0 boost to follow it through. Yeti up again. Unicorns playing some hard offense on the beginning. Now Alpha Doggy 1v1 versus Nicholas. He takes a shot. Dead center of the net. Yeti looks to regroup for the Unicorns. Pushes that one through. Pop into the corner. Nick is up. Alpha Doggy with the save this time. Back and forth action in the first minute. No one getting a goal quite yet. Q pops it down midfield. Nick easily handled in the midfield with space.
You and Alpha Doggy, they're doing really well on defense right now, and the Unicorns, they seem to be having trouble getting the ball into the Eagles' net.
This does seem to be a battle of whose defense can hold up longer. I don't think the offense from either of these teams has showed off greatly. I have seen the Unicorns pull in some very heavy demos, so if it comes to a stalemate, watch out for the Unicorns to get aggressive. But now both of them in the corner. Q can move up. Nick defends the back wall well. He takes this one up. No one challenging on the side of the Eagles yet. 50 goes back down the way. Eagles slowly buying pressure into the other half. Alpha Doggy cleans that one up, but just sends it right back into the corner. Possession to work with. Traded away. Q takes a shot. Nicholas with the save. Yeti can't find that one, and now Nick's gonna have to get another save. Pushes it downfield as well. Q tries for a demo, but Nick actually finds one himself. Yeti to cut it off in the midfield, and it is just back and forth for these two teams.
I have to point it out right now, but the Eagles have 4 shots in total. And right now, the Eagles, with those 4 shots, they have all been on net, but as I'm interrupted, the Unicorns get 1 up halfway through the game.
Yeah, just an unfortunate touch into the midfield. Alpha Doggy then side flips. Q can't get back to that. Nick just needs to put it on target. Great play, capitalization on the side of the Unicorns. But the Eagles, that definitely doesn't look like an 0-6 start for them. I think they are looking as good as they have all season long. Alpha Doggy to the midfield. Nick just barely beating Q out for that one. Eagles having to race back, play some offense. Nick takes it solo, pushes it down. 50 in front of the net, but not in a dangerous spot. Yeti now leaves Nick in a 2v1 situation. Q just to pop it away and give away possession. I want to see the Eagles take a little bit more control of this ball. Alpha Doggy on those flicks can be so dangerous sometimes. They just need to get a little bit of a confidence boost to go for them more.
They have a lot of pressure, and like I was saying earlier, though, the Eagles have 5 shots in total now, and the Unicorns have 5 saves. The Eagles are putting on really accurate shots. The Eagles are putting on really accurate shots, but the Unicorns their defense is just holding them together right now.
And the Eagles, they push it downfield, but they just can't follow through with it. Nick hunting that demo. Yeti, just to keep it in the half. Q now on the transition, has Alpha Doggy in the midfield, opts for a shot instead. Nick, again, just sends it the length of the field. He has a 1v1 situation. Can't find the target on that one. Alpha to push it away. Nick, aggressive turn. Q, he's there. Yeti cuts him off in his own corner. 50, that's in the net, off the crossbar. Unicorns, they're knocking, but Eagles, they still won't let them in. They're only down by 1. It is very possible for the comeback. Yeti on the cleanup will secure a second.
Unicorns making sure they do not lose to the Eagles right now. Nicholas with a great shot, forcing the Eagles to do anything. And Yeti finishes it off. 2-0 with a minute left. Eagles not looking like they're going to come back if they keep up the way they're playing.
1 minute to go. Yeti has control off the kickoff. Weird touch will make it work for 1. Nicholas hunting the demos on the back line, preventing the Eagles from having too great of offense in the final minute. Q cutting off Alpha Doggy there. Alpha has to play aggressive, and he does. Nick waiting so patiently as that last man. Alpha Doggy gets the demo. Q coming in for the shot, has 1 to beat. Just opts for that pop again. Those weak pops into the corners is doing more harm than good for the Eagles. Yeti just has to kill time. Nick, that one's on target right off the sidewall. Excellent read, and that's insurance for the Unicorns.
Excellent pop off the ceiling. Whether it was intentional or not, I'm sure they're very happy to take that one, securing the game 1 for them. I think you're right, though. When it comes to these pop-ups, the Eagles really just need to keep more control of it. Sometimes pops and bangs across the field can work, but against this Unicorns team, it just isn't, and they just need to realize this.
And the Eagles, they have incredible defense to hold it up. It's just that offensive pressure that they can bring that's hurting them in this game. Because other than that, I honestly thought going into this, Unicorns might just run away with it. But the Eagles in the first half of the game looked incredibly good. That is not an 0-6 team start right there. I actually think the Eagles have a very good chance in this series because of that start.
Eagles are definitely not looking like a team that would be 0-6 right now. The Unicorns, though, great pressure and great defense to boot. They had 10 shots total and 5 saves total. They saved every shot from the Eagles, and Unicorns is doing phenomenal.
Yeah. And, I mentioned it earlier, the demos that started coming out from Nick once they got settled into the series made it just easier for the Unicorns to break into the half because Eagles had that midfield line secure at most points. Once it got into the back, it was a little bit iffy. But that midfield from the Eagles was great to watch. I want to see them hold that midfield rotation a little bit more solid and then, take some more threatening shots, maybe look for those demos where it's needed because Nick a lot of times has been left in a 2v1 situation that the Eagles could easily capitalize on.
Yeah, and I think if the Eagles just really take some of that more controlled efforts to put the ball into the Unicorns' net and use each other to just throw out some more passes, just anything like that, I think the Eagles have a really good chance.
We'll have to see. Alpha Doggy, from season 1, he has been on the Eagles. Yeti, the new GM of the Unicorns. We'll see how this one shakes up in game 2. Kickoff. Dropped into Q's hands, just takes a shot towards net. Nick, it's not the greatest save. Q misses. Alpha Doggy, final shot. Nick gets the 50, and it is huge for Yeti on the clean. Oh, Yeti?
Unfortunate whiff from the Unicorns. I think they didn't realize how free it really was, but I'm sure the Eagles are thanking their stars right now that they didn't have to start off with a differential.
Getting away with murder is the only way I can describe that. And now it's double whiffs from the Eagles. Q able to recover. Luckily, I don't think the Unicorns are ready for that one. Nick stealing boost in the corner. Q will just wrap it around still. Gets that 50 win. Yeti on the sidewall. Alpha Doggy has him beat, but zero boost to follow through with that ball. Yeti has to push it down himself in the sideline. Q, excellent beat. Leaves the ball though. Alpha Doggy is able to push up because of it. Q, last man takes a shot towards net. Nicholas caught out as last man. And that is the first goal for the Eagles in this series.
You recognizing the great shot potential in this situation. Yeti not quite on the ball, and Nicholas not quite on defense either. Q, amazing shot. Exactly what the Eagles needed.
And that's all I wanted to see from them. That midfield line, those rotations on it, it works for the Eagles. Now let's just see how the Unicorns can transition off of that. Yeti, pass up to Nicholas, no contact there. Yeti will keep up the pressure. Shot on, denied by Alpha Doggy. Eagles awkward in this corner. Nicholas throws that one to the middle. Yeti couldn't find the net there, just pops it into the corner. Alpha Doggy to transition, looking for Q on the side. He has to race for it. Nick, pop up. Dangerous ball, he's following in the corner. That's a great second touch from Alpha Doggy. Gets it all the way past the last man. Yeti now looks for a pinch of his own. That's to the back wall. Q, can he get that on target? What an angle from Q to give him a 2-goal lead.
What a shot from Q. What was this angle? He intentionally flipped towards the wall so it would bounce into him, and the Unicorns just were not expecting a shot.
This is the type of aggression I love to see coming out of the Eagles. They have found, it doesn't matter how nice that ball looks or how nice the shot looks going into the net. All you need is the goals to secure it. We all know Turbo Pulsa, the 4-time world champion. He doesn't score fancy flip resets or anything. Excellence isn't made because of style points. Alpha Doggy, follow-up shot to the back wall, denied. Yeti to push it downfield. Yet Nick, shot on, just a little bit wide. Unicorns threatening counterattack. Alpha Doggy gets tripped up in the corner. Q now has to fill in for him, and he will do so halfway through the game right now. And this is starting to look like an Eagles team that is on fire.
Eagles right now, they're not, oh, this could be another opportunity for him, but no, Nicholas gets back. The Eagles right now, they are looking so much better than game one, and so much better than their entire season.
This is a big step up when they needed it most. 0-6 might be a little bit too much to come back from in the season, but there is always time for moral redemption. And against a hot-looking Unicorns team, they have stepped up when they needed it most. Q tries to go low. Yeti denies him on that one to push it forward. Alpha Doggy just sends it back down the other way. Q is up with Nicholas there. Alpha pop, a little bit weak. Q able to get one touch. It might have been an open net had the Eagles not get a touch on that one. Yeti tries to pop it. Takes a bump. Nick coming in for the shot. Alpha Doggy flat-footed on the goal line. Can't find the double touch. A minute 30 for the Eagles to secure the game and tie up the series. Alpha Doggy again into the middle. Q, he's waiting in midfield. Nick can't force the 50 through. Eagles looking so solid right now in game two.
Thing I'm starting to worry about is if the Eagles manage to win this game, they've seemed to at least win one game on nearly every team they've played this season, but they've never been able to take away more than maybe one, maybe two at the most. I'm worried if they might run out of steam, but Q showing that I don't think he's gonna run out of steam. Takes another one. 3-0, 48 seconds left.
Big Q, big goals, hat trick in game two. Eagles showing that they can shoot and score. I mean, they didn't miss a shot last game other than, you know, they were all saved. Fake kickoff coming out here from the Unicorns. Doesn't really work in their half. Eagles just get possession right back. And it's not like the Unicorns didn't have their chances. Yeti missed a few open net opportunities that definitely could have changed the outlook of this series. Saved there by Alpha Doggy. It's just the Unicorns, they need to find that consistency on shooting to, you know, I think be convincing going into the season.
The thing is, too, I noticed really the Eagles are not coming out with a lot of team plays. their rotations are spot on right now, but in terms of what they've scored, they've been more or less just solo plays. I wonder if the Eagles put in some of those team plays and really get those communications going, they might be able to look even scarier.
Oh, absolutely. You know, if a solo player can score and really pop off, I'd hate to see what would happen when they're both in unison with each other. So, you know, Eagles looking hot. Can they continue this and make that offense improve even more? Not just catching the unicorns out on their mistakes, but actually involving each other. Because Alpha Doggy picked them up in the saves, in the defense. Good. Q, offensive threat, picking away any mistake that was there. They have the capability. Now just find each other in the midfield and let's see it make some magic.
Unicorns, they've showed that they're not out of this. The series is 1-1 now, but Eagles coming out with the upset. Very, very dominant in game 2. 7 shots total and 4 saves. Nearly the same for the Unicorns, but the Unicorns, their shots were cut in half this game compared to game 1. 5 in this game, 10 in the first. Unicorns just not able to get on offense nearly as much because the Eagles just had way more pressure this time.
We'll have to see. And, you know, completely flip the script on this one. 5 shots from the Unicorns, 4 of them saved from the Eagles. It's a complete switch of the stats that we saw in game 1. 3-0 for the Unicorns, and now it's 3-0 for the Eagles. Now, the penultimate match is upon us. Who takes this game is so important for the rest of the series. I want to believe that if the Eagles win this one, we go to game 5. But I think that if the Unicorns win here, it might just end in 4. Great save from Q to start us off early. Alpha Doggy very low on boost, just has to jump for it. Nick, car change moving in. Yeti goes for a demo, gets the last man just awkward enough to get a goal. Nicholas, great back post flick. Good play from the Unicorns. Yeti, if you can't score, at least just open it up for your last man.
Apologize, my mic was muted, but I think the Eagles, this is exactly what they need to avoid because the Unicorns were doing this at the end of game 2. They were putting on so much pressure. They were trying to throw out some demos, throw out just any attempted bumps at all to the Eagles, and it was starting to work, but starting off with it in the beginning of the game, I think is the key for the Unicorns.
Good demo from Q to relieve some pressure and break them out of their half. Continuing forward, Nick, control down the sideline. Q is just being a menace towards any Unicorn player on the ball. Yeti, pop in the midfield, takes a shot towards net, weak, 0 boost to work with. Nick, follow-up is there. No real shot on target. We're just able to buy some time for Yeti to get boost. Alpha Doggy misses that one. Q sends it to the sidewall. Pop gives it away to Nicholas. Nick with the flick. Last one to beat. Over the top. Crossbar. Yeti. Where is he? He's there. Shot on post. Oh, it's just...
no.
It's hard to see because you also know that Yeti is probably getting on himself about... I'm missing so many shots. It just happens. But, you know, it's kind of good for the Eagles to see that and exploit it. Going further!
Oh.
Shot doesn't get it. Yeti clutch saving time.
The Eagles, they are still in this. They realize that this is one of their best chances to get themselves back into the season, or at the very least start to play spoiler.
Alpha Doggy and Q combine on that one for an incredible passing play to tie it up.
What did I say? What did I say earlier? I'm saying once the Eagles come out with some more passing plays to each other, they have the chemistry, they have each other in their minds. They know exactly where each other are, and if they can capitalize on it just like that, I think they can keep doing it.
Passing plays, a very tricky thing to manage in twos because you only have those two. Normally, you see passing plays in the game of threes. You have that safety net in case the team cuts it off. Nothing here. Yeti's shot gets the lead right back after incredible offensive pressure from the Unicorns off kickoff.
Yeah, these Unicorns, they are not out of it just yet. Yeti is going to hit some of these shots.
Unicorns had the lead, lost the lead, got it right back. Nicholas up for that, looking for the reset. Alpha Doggy denies yet again. The defense from the Eagles has been great. It's something that you don't really get on a team for having such incredible defense in a series in twos, but they are making it work here. Alpha Doggy to the top corner, denied by the woodwork. Yeti hands it over to Nick. Q gets baited on that one. Yeti 1v1 gets the demo, doesn't get the goal. Q now long shot on target. Nick sends it away. Alpha Doggy to clean it up in the midfield, gets a bump, gets the boost. Yeti awkward last man, pop into the middle. Q, he's there. Alpha Doggy back on the sidewall, can't find the contact. Yeti on the breakaway, just has Q to beat. Shot back post is in. Yeti extends him by 2.
Yeti, far bottom right post from about midfield, worked great. Q just wasn't expecting as much power as Yeti could get from where he was. Unicorns completely flipped from game 2.
And it's not like the Unicorns are doing anything great. I mean, Yeti has been catching them off guard. The rotation's kind of breaking down on the side of the Eagles. Their defense holding up, though. 7 saves across both players is doing great. Now it's another 2v1 situation here. Alpha Doggy has Nick in his sights, but just doesn't find that last contact. Nick baiting the boost, hits the post. Yeti, last man shot, denied by Q. Eagles stand strong. They still have a possibility at a comeback here. Winding down to a minute left. Nick hunting the demo. Alpha gets it away. Yeti backflip for the double touch. Q, much needed clear off of that one. Puts the ball into space, but 0 boost to work with. Alpha Doggy, great touch, but the Unicorns' pressure keeps mounting. That one's in back post. Unicorns getting some insurance here in the last minute.
Eagles, I was a little afraid. Like I said last game, they seem to always take at least 1 game off of everyone they play, but they just can't quite close it out. And there's just double commits, and there's communication issues between Alpha and Q that on who goes for a ball on defense. That one, I mean, Nicholas just got a great flick off kickoff. Good on him. 5-1.
5-1, but also, the stats at the end will show 17 shots for the Unicorns right now, 9 saves for the Eagles. I mean, it is clearly I don't even want to say David versus Goliath, because it's just an unstoppable object meeting, an immovable object meeting an unstoppable force right now, except the unstoppable force may just be having the upper edge here, and the Unicorns look to end it in 4. Yeti sees Nick on the back wall, looks for the clip, hits the crossbar instead. Q trying for any sort of momentum builder moving into the next game, but it doesn't look to be happening. Bumps out. Alpha Doggy get another save for the stats. Why not? Demos coming through. Eagles looked incredible in game 2. Looked great in this game as well. They just need to fix that rotation on the back end, and I think they can easily come back and force game 5.
Yeah, Eagles just had a lot of mistakes in the latter half of that game. They had a lot of saves, 10 saves with the Unicorns 20 shots on net. There's nothing, I don't know what else to say. 20 shots from the Unicorns. That's pretty much all you need to say and see to really explain this game's scoreline.
Yeah, but that's still 5 shots that were kind of off the post for the Unicorns. I mean, 10 saves, 5 go in, 5 missed. The pressure is there. I mean, the Unicorns have it. But the Eagles, I want to say, are a little bit more precise with their attacks. They don't go for a lot of them, but they do make a lot of them count. Because on the other side, 5 saves on 8 shots, 1 going in. the Eagles definitely don't have the pressure, but they make their opportunities count. And I think that one passing play was great. They just need to find that breakdown in the Unicorns.
It seemed like the Eagles were worrying a little bit too much about if the Unicorns were going to come and try and demo them on their rotations out. And I think that might have been what eventually snowballed into the communication issues in the latter half of the game.
Well, let's see what the Eagles are made of moving into this one. They are on match point, do or die. Let's see what the Alpha Doggy can bring. Nicholas up for this one, has a flip reset, uses it, gets it by Q. Alpha Doggy, last man save. Great touch from him. Yeti not on target, but still keeping up pressure. Nick, he's up for this one. Has the touch, doesn't find the target. Alpha hop away again. I want to see the Eagles, maintain that control that they had in game 2. It looked great. Oh, it's confusion on the back line. Q gonna open up the scoring.
That's exactly what the Eagles need to capitalize on. Anything confusion related for the Unicorns can be turned into an Eagles goal. And they're going to take that, absolutely. They're going to need it.
And Q is that man to just wait out the Unicorns on offense while Alpha Doggy gets back in the rotation. It's great execution by them. They feel like they know what they're doing. I kind of want to see Alpha Doggy get a little bit more involved in that. There he is. The demo opens it up, and Alpha Doggy gets the goal.
I'm glad the double commit from the Eagles on that shot didn't end up borking the shot entirely. The Eagles, though, 2-0 already, 40 seconds into the game. They're looking confident.
We would love to see a game 5. Although I know Alpha Doggy does not have the best track record when it comes to game 5s. You can ask him himself. He does a lot of stats over on the power ranking side, and it is not a good statistic, but maybe it can improve with the start of this game. Nicholas, he doesn't lose those 1v1s. He's within 1.
And these Unicorns, not out of it yet. Nicholas has been so good with some of these dribbles and flicks this series, putting it to good use. He doesn't even need a teammate right now. I think it's still a very even game.
Unicorns winning that kickoff. Q has to do with Yeti charging in. Nick takes it up the wall. No one contesting him quite yet. Loses possession of it. Back pass to Yeti. Makes it count. Both the Unicorns players up for this one off post. Alpha Doggy in net. Gets beat out by Nick. Crossbar yet again. Shooting inaccuracy. Plaguing the Unicorns right now, but the pressure still mounting. Q tries to clear the line. Met by one in the midfield. Again, Nick turns on it. Shot. It's on the backboard. Who's there to save it? It's Nick, but Q tries to force it through, cannot. Unicorns defense holding strong.
What a save from the Unicorns, and almost a counterattack goal. They are putting everything they have into defense right now, and it's working. It's working so well. The Eagles just can't seem to get around them anymore. And the physical plays, and the Unicorns managed to capitalize on it.
You know what? It was a lot of back and forth there. Alpha Doggy, try as he may, just couldn't get enough contact on that ball to force it to the back post. And we're only tied up. I mean, that was so wild to see that much pressure going back and forth. It had to result in a goal either way. You just felt it. Now Nick, again, trying for the 1v1 bump. Q, what a save. Alpha Doggy on the transition, racing Yeti back to it. Can he find the target? No, it's just off the post, bouncing around. The teams are leaving everything out here right now. Pass into Q, follow-up shot denied by Nick. But these teams are not letting anything go. Everything is threatening at this point. Yeti will take the lead back for the Unicorns.
The Unicorns up 2-1 in the series and trying to not go to a game 5. They know how threatening the Eagles can be if they let them have even an inch, and they are making sure to stomp them out every chance they get.
Unicorns do need that game differential if they want to have a chance for those playoff standings in the end. Miscommunication bumps open up the Eagles. It's all tied up again.
Eagles aren't out of it just yet. Q and Alpha throwing out some passing plays. Great pass from Alpha, just sending it to the mid. Q, good on him being there.
Yeah, this is about what I expected coming into this one. Just everything. Just no holds barred match right here in Rocket League. Love to see it. Alpha Doggy getting every single play more and more aggressive. Q and Alpha collide heads to pop it away. Yeti moving forward. Q flat-footed. Nick, he's got an open net to work with. Opts to take it up the sidewall. Flip reset 1 on target. Alpha Doggy to the sidewall. Minute 43 to go. Eagles had a lead for this match, but Yeti's finally hitting the net. What an angle.
That was a great shot from Yeti. Q just a little bit caught out right there. I don't think he read the bounce exactly. I think he thought it was just going to roll along the wall, but the Unicorns, they read it perfectly and they made sure to get that.
And, you know, I was kind of ripping on Yeti earlier for his shooting accuracy, but then he whips out something like that. And I honestly can't blame Q because, you know, track record repeats. Do you expect a Yeti to hit an angle like that? Alpha Doggy just dunking the last man. They're not going down. This has to go to a game 5.
Just forcing the ball into the net through the 50. This is a good series. This is a good series.
I mean, welcome to the Star League. If you thought any team was going down without a fight, good luck. That one sent to the midfield. Yeti losing it to Q. Nick has boost, has possession, has space. No reset there. Didn't find contact. Yeti follow-up shot off the crossbar. Not in. Q tries to push it away. Alpha Doggy follow-up is there. Eagles. What looks like a Unicorn's goal is happening is going to Nick. Finally breaks him down. The Unicorns' pressure just mounting so much. They're resulting in goals quicker. Really making the Eagles fight for the win here.
You unfortunate, but the same circumstance a minute ago. Went up the wall, misread the bounce, and he's just caught out. He can't get to it from where he is. And Alpha tried to get back, but just couldn't. And Unicorns up by 1 with a minute left. I'm sure they're happy, but the Eagles have to scramble.
45 seconds to stay alive in this one. Yeti, no shot. Nick, follow up off the crossbar again. I want to say he's found his new partner in the crossbar. Yeti finally finding the net, buying that insurance with only 35 to go.
I would call it now, but if this one game is anything that we've seen, they could come back. 35 seconds left for the Eagles to take 2 more goals. They could do it. It's going to be hard, but they've shown that they can score right away.
That physicality definitely coming in. No fear in challenging. The Unicorns now ramping up the pressure. All they have to do is stay close to the ball and secure the win. Alpha Doggy, huge 50. Q coming in. Nick just barely able to get the touch off on that one. Pop up high. Alpha Doggy, first to it, has to send it long. 10 seconds to go. Needs 2 goals. It's got to happen right now. Q, that's 2. He can do it. Going all the way. It's too weak. It's going to roll. It's down. Unicorn's going to win it in 4, but Eagles did not look terrible. They showed incredible offensive ability, and 1 more crossbar for the road for Nick.
Yeah, this was a very fun match to watch. Eagles almost coming out and bringing it to game 5, but it was like I said in game 2, they seem to take at least 1 game off of most of the teams I play, but they just lose steam and they can't seem to just really take it any further than that.
19 shots on the Unicorns. I don't know what it was in game 1. Game 2 was a little bit lackluster from them, but game 2, 3, and 4, what is it? 39 shots in 2 games. I mean, take as many shots as you like. I mean, some of them are bound to go in, but might need to pick it up once you get into your own division again, because Griffins, Hydras, Dragons, they're not gonna miss as many shots or give up as many goals.
Unicorns are definitely the much more consistent team, and all holds barred, no holds barred, I should say, for the Unicorns, putting shot after shot. It worked wonders. Eagles just couldn't keep up in the end. We will see if the Unicorns want an interview. Yes, they do. We'll get them in here. Congratulations, Unicorns. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. But first, I'd like to give a big shout out to my main man, Nicholas Carl Jessup, with the sideline reporting. Thank you, Nick.
I think we feel great considering when I signed Nick, we were 1-3, and now we're 4-3. So it's definitely looking a lot better since then.
You guys definitely have a chance, not out of the season yet at all, especially with Star League being so close as it is. You have 3 matches left on the season. Are there any teams that you're a bit nervous to play, a bit confident to play?
Me personally, yes, all of them. all of them are going to be the worst games that we're going to have all season, because this is a rerun of our first 3 weeks, and first 3 weeks don't. I mean, they do mean a lot when it comes to the end, but these 3 are especially important to making the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, closing it out's obviously definitely going to be the hardest part, but you guys are still in it. You showed that you could definitely take them down, though. What were you guys feeling in the game 2 after the Eagles really dominantly just came back from not doing so hot?
Well, I'd like to give another shout out to Yeti's dad for coming in his room and making him miss the open net. So, big shout out to Yeti's dad for that one.
I was during our series, everybody in my family pretty much walked into my room at separate times in the middle of the game and tried offering me food. So I was a little thrown off by that, but I think game 3 and 4, people started coming in my room less. So I think we felt good after that.
It was definitely a really fun series to watch. Chris, do you have anything?
Yeah, so
Soft.
of the 4 teams that are in the playoff race for Courage Conference right now, 3 of them are in your division.
Yeah, that's the top 3 teams in our conference, right?
What are the top 3 teams, Yeti?
The order that you have to play them in is like the Pokemon League, where you have to play Hydras first, and then Griffins, and then Dragons.
Yeah, that's pretty much the hierarchy right now. Is just those 3 teams who are the top 3 in our conference, and we play them from.
No,
not.
Yeti,
I want to say the worst. I want to say the worst record, but they're still the 3rd best team, to moving all the way up to the number 1 team in the league.
No, Yeti, we're at the top.
Hopefully, we'll end up on top, or in
Well,
the playoffs.
With that win, you do move into 5th place, so you are moving up in the standings. It is going to be difficult moving forward. The game differential is definitely going to need improved, but you guys have a very good chance to make the playoffs from here on out. Out of those 3 matches, Hydras, Griffins, Dragons, which one do you think you stand the best chance against?
All of them.
I think it depends on who's playing, and if it's Nick and Noct, I think our best chances of winning are against the Griffins and the Hydras.
All right. Well, I look forward to seeing how the playoff race unfolds for you boys, but Tunling, do you have anything else for our winners tonight?
No, I'm good. Congratulations, guys. This is a hard-fought series, but you guys are definitely still in it. It'll be fun to watch the rest of your season.
Thanks, man. You too.
All right, and with that, that will conclude our night here for the FTL. I hope you guys had an incredible time. We did. Shout out to our unicorns for being our winners, and everyone else in the chat. You've all been lovely, and we will see you guys next week for week 10 of the 10? 9? I don't know what week we're in. We'll be back next week. Have a good rest of your night, guys.
Building